Welcome to today's webinar from Create to Excite the Future of Content Supply Chain Mastery. My name is Isabel and I'm happy to be your moderator today. Today we will give you an exclusive inside look at CELUM Portals. In this guided tour with our product manager, you will see how easy it is to set up portals. This will happen in a live demo with practical use cases from everyday's marketing scenarios. So take advantage of the opportunity to ask our experts any questions you may have. Before we start, let me just inform you that this session is going to be recorded and that we will send you the recording in the upcoming days. If you have any questions for our experts, please write them in the GoToWebinar question box on the right side of the screen. We will answer them at the end of the demo in our Q&A session. So let me introduce our experts. First, Britta. She is my colleague from CELUM Marketing. She's a product marketing manager and therefore, among other things, responsible for the go-to-market of CELUM products. Therefore, she is well aware of the many and diverse challenges along the content supply chain. Steve Lourdesami is the Portals product manager at CELUM. He is the one person who really knows everything there is to know about our CELUM Portals. So this session is really your chance to ask him any questions you might have about the CELUM Portals in our Q&A session. Hello, you two. Nice to have you here. And thanks for taking us along on this Portals tour. What can we be excited about today?
Hello. Hi, Steve. It's nice to see you.
Thank you.
I just want to say a big congratulations on the launch of Portal. This is a really big deal, not only for you personally, but also for CELUM. As we know, we have the content supply chain, and part of that content supply chain is what we have here, which is the create and approve, find and manage, route and share content. And now with Portals, we have the excite and gain insights. So what does that mean? Create is where our customers use CELUM to optimize creative processes with workflows, visual feedback, and proofing, where they manage all the content by centralizing it within our powerful DAM functionality, adding metadata, and even AI tagging for speed and agility. And of course, the route where we connect CELUM to other tools to accelerate go-to-market. And now we have Excite. And why are we actually using the word Excite? Because we have portals, and the point of portals is that our customers can create personalized content experiences for their end consumer. And that means that our customers can say to their end consumer, we're listening to you. We understand the content that you want. We're going to make it easy to access. We're going to make it easy to search, and we're going to make it easy to download. And that is exciting.
All right. I would say let's jump right in and take a look at how we can build portals.
That'd be great.
I just need to take over the screen for that. Let's do that first. Nice. Okay, so I'm sure we have some guests here today that are familiar with our software and some that have not seen it. For everyone who is already using CELUM, this is a known environment. So this is CELUM content, the DAM in itself, basically the central place where we're systematically managing all the assets that are available there. And for everyone else, just so you know, we are starting the journey in the DAM system and we'll then define a scope there and then actually go the other steps to actually build a portal and then publish it. You will see it's quite an easy journey, and we will do that together today. And we have a use case, right?
Yes, we do.
It should be easy to follow.
Yes, a specific one to my use case. Yes, thank you.
Sure, let's take a look then. So we're gonna use the search capability in content. We can use all the features that we already have there. for people who have used the software before, this is going to be a very familiar environment, nothing new to teach anyone, nothing new to learn. We will simply use the existing filter options. So we have all these different widgets here. We could filter by content type or media type. We can use the status. We can use the full capability of these filter widgets. I know that you have saved all the material that we should use today in a folder, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just add a filter widget here that allows us to search specifically in collections. And actually, because we have an English audience here today, let's also switch to English.
Oh, that's
and not
nice.
do that in German.
Yep, that's nice that we can switch the language so easily.
Yeah, that is definitely simple. So now we've got everything in the other language, and let's use or choose this filter widgets. You've seen there's tons of them. Let's not go too much into detail there because we know exactly what we want. If I open that one, I can simply type the name of the folder. What did you say was it?
I think it was sales collateral portals, something like that.
Sales.
Look, it's even pulling up already. Nice.
Perfect. So let's go with that one. We can see that we are filtering here on the right-hand side as well. And
yeah.
that's all the stuff.
That is all the content.
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. The very simple thing that we have to do now is save that filter. It's the same process as usually if we would just want to save a certain scope. We will go along as always. So far there's no difference. Should we call them the same as the?
Yeah, let's keep it the same because it's simple, then I can remember it.
All right.
So it was the sales collateral portals.
Portals. Great. Once that is saved, our job is done in terms of defining a scope.
That's easy.
The only step between us and the portal now is actually creating a library.
Okay.
And you might wonder, or you might know already, but some of our guests might wonder, why is there a step in between? So we have libraries. Let's go there for a second and take a look. We have libraries as an intermediary step because we really want to decouple the assets that are later presented through the portals in libraries. So you can imagine.
Yeah, but why do I want to decouple it?
Yeah, good question. So the benefits of that are, first of all, that they are globally available. So this has a lot of technical reasons, but they all can be broken down on the factors of performance and speed, basically.
Okay.
So you want that portal to be all time available, always up, no matter where in the world it's going to be used.
Yeah.
And because there might be maintenance or updates happening once in a while on content, as usual on a system that's running on software, that happens once in a while. And you want to be sure that this storage is detached from that.
Okay,
so
but you're also talking about speed. So what do you mean by speed?
That's the speed of actually calling that information from the website. So when you're opening a portal, you want to make sure that all these assets that you want to be there can immediately pull up.
Yes.
And that's what we're going to do now. So let's create a library. Is also the whole user interface is very familiar with what we're already using. There's only slight adaptations where it made sense, but in general we're really trying to not
I can recognize it.
Invent it new. Perfect. So also here I'm just gonna
again it was sales collateral portal.
Perfect.
It's nice to have that naming convention with the same.
Yes. And of course, it's up to everyone. In other cases, it makes sense to have multiple libraries. Maybe you have some collateral for the DACH region, some other collateral for the US. So you can always have multiple libraries and then choose the one you need. One little detail that we see here as well now is that we can see the permissions of the person this library is based on. So in order to reduce some of the complexity that we have on Content Hub, due to the fact that it is insanely capable, so that's always the balance you have to find, right? If you have you have a ton of features, if you allow very specific permission levels on different kinds of structures, you just inherit the fact that it is a little bit more complex. And we want to reduce all of that. Another benefit of libraries actually as well, by saying each library has one owner, it can be changed.
Okay.
So this person, in this case, it's me because I'm creating it at the moment, but this person can always be changed. What I'm trying to say is permissions are super easy here.
Great.
You just use one person as the basis, and these permissions are going to set basically what can be seen here.
Okay.
So we've given it a name. Next step is to choose a filter. So this is exactly what we have created before.
Mm-hmm.
We can choose any of the filters that are saved there. It was sales collateral,
Mm-hmm.
same as we called also the library.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to check which assets are part of this filter, we have a preview here.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
You can check here if everything is there.
I like
again.
the preview to be sure of what I'm doing and what I'm putting in there.
Perfect. So you know what? We chose CELUM sales collateral, but the one was collateral. This was the one that we chose actually. So these
There
are
we go.
these are this is small.
That was a perfect example of double checking what you're putting in there. Nice.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So the preview showed us that we want to show
something different, right?
Perfect. So now we've got 18 assets in there. We can go to the next step. We could, as you see, you can already create the library at this point. So we don't have to take any further steps. But a lot of the time, the information that we want to be seen on that portal later on is based, it's always based on the metadata.
Yeah.
And most of the time you want to show some extra information.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
that's why I hesitated for a moment. I thought, wait, we still have the metadata. Let's add that, please.
Yes, let's do that now.
Great.
So some of the stuff I already know that you're using. Asset status is one of them, right?
Yes, that's true. I would even say like country.
Okay.
We could even.
Let me spell that.
No, countries.
Okay.
All right. I would also say languages, right? So we can, for our sales team, we create collateral in different languages depending on what they need it for.
All right.
Yeah, and then maybe even maybe sizes. I don't think sizes. Right. That's another category later on.
Yeah, let's choose the
content owner.
I know that we always need to know who is actually the owner of that.
Yes, that's nice, because then if sales wants to have a tweak on some of the material, they can see who the content owner is, which would maybe be me, and they can come to me and say, hey, Britta, can you oversee and change out that CTA for this CTA, right? So that's really nice for them.
Cool. Yeah, we are using that all the time as well. Of course, we can always come back, add more, remove them. It's only a few clicks. So just to show how it works, let's just stick to those.
But I like that flexibility that this isn't permanent. Like, thank you for clarifying that. We can go in there, we can add it, we can take it out, experiment with it and see what works for us.
All the time. Yeah, for sure. So next step, another optional one, but we want to make sure that the sales reps can download certain information. So we have to choose variants, which equal is our term for specifying the formats in which certain assets can be downloaded.
This is really nice because this can end the back and forth between me and sales, right? So I can give them a variety of these variants and say, hey, do you want it enlarged? Do you want it smaller? Do you want a video? This is really great. This will actually give them their independence, and they're not constantly coming to me asking for X, Y, and Z, and it's this back and forth and this delay. So this is actually speeding up the process with the variants, isn't it?
For sure. Which ones should we pick?
All of them.
Yeah, let's go.
Give them all of them.
For all of them. So we can again double check what's there. We're happy with our selection, and let's create the library. So you can see in 4 steps, we could actually do it in 2, but because we want metadata and variants to be there as well.
Yeah, I want the metadata and the variants, I have to say.
For sure. So in 4 steps, we've created a library. You can see that here now. And now the assets are actually feeding into the library. What we saw as the preview was basically a window on content, but now we're creating this separation. So all this content is feeding into the library, and then it can be shown also on the portal. I don't want to lose any time here today, so we're going to use one library that is there. So I called it CELUM Portals, which is a little bit different, but it doesn't matter. We can actually also check the other one if we want, but for now let's just build the portal immediately.
Yep.
And let's go over to experience.
And the reason why we called it experience is because we want that our customers can give their end customers a great content experience. It's that, like Steve was talking about, that speed, that access, and using the filters to find what they want and how they want it. So it's a great content experience, right?
It is, and you might wonder why it's only called Portals at the moment. Of course, our plan is to, that we only have portals within the experience domain. We have a lot of other plans of different features within this domain. So experience is exactly as you described. I couldn't describe it better.
Okay.
And portals are just the first stepping stone in this direction of really giving a lot of presentation and front-end capabilities to our customers.
That's great.
Let's create a portal. So I'm gonna call this one Sales Docs now as well, as it's based on the thing.
That one. Mm-hmm.
Fine for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Because we selected earlier. Yep.
Okay.
Sales Docs.
Sales Docs. Portals. Would you say that this portal should be protected, or can it be?
But let's go into
public?
what we're talking about with public and protected.
So for public, you can see that here as well. It would mean that you create a public portal and anyone who has the link to it can access it.
Okay.
For internal teams, like I guess what we're doing now as well for sales, for any, or it doesn't even need to be an internal team, but as long as you want that portal not to be accessible by anyone with a link, but only to a certain amount of people that are in your organization,
Mm-hmm.
you would choose protected.
Nice. I like that. I can have that flexibility of access.
Okay, and for sales, I guess protected
Yes.
would make sense.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Because, all right.
Yeah.
Let's go with that then. And now we just have to choose a library. And we can first choose the one
Sales Docs.
Yeah, exactly. And once I hit create here, you can see that within a second, everything is here. So you might have not even seen it. It was like your assets are being loaded. Because we already have this separate storage, the portal can immediately pull it. So it's very different than loading it from content.
Mm-hmm.
And just for the fun of it, let's take a little risk here.
Oh yeah.
Let's where was it now? Yeah, we can create another portal. Let's just call it test.
Oh, this is a little surprise.
Let's go with that and choose the library that we just created.
Okay.
That was the sales collateral
Yes.
one, right? And if I create this one, just so you can see that spinner as well.
Your assets are being created.
Yeah, exactly. This is how it would look when the assets are still loading in, basically.
Okay.
And that's what I wanted to show.
So
you're
now
always
I can
informed.
So, but I can have a coffee break now, is what that means. Right?
Exactly. And usually you have the libraries prepared up front, and then only you would create multiple portals there. And they're very quickly loading in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's usually not a lot of time that is wasted.
Nice.
But let's go to our better, like the portal that has a better name as well. Let's see which one. How did we call it in the end?
I think it was Sales Docs Portals, wasn't it? If you scroll up.
Yes, it was.
If you scroll up.
That's the one.
Yep, there we go. Yes, this is the collateral that I would want to share with my sales team. So we see actually what I really do use for our sales team. It's the one pagers, it's the presentations. It's even what we call sales skilling, which is some of what you do, Steve, talking to sales and educating them about it. It's our success stories that they want to share with potential prospects and customers, and even an email signature. So it's all the things that they can go in here and look around and grab out and start with right away.
Cool. So now you can see basically the default settings, right? You can already see the content in there. What's important now is that we have some options to design it. We really try to keep it simple here in order to streamline the process. You don't, again, the more options, the more complexity.
Yes, true. Keep it easy.
So should we change the background of the thing?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to have a little branding if I can. So like, can I use my company colors, right? That would be nice.
For sure. Actually, we could actually use a feature to do that because we have our company colors here. Let's go straight to the visual stuff, and then we're gonna talk about the languages for a second. So at the moment, it's a color. You can see that here. You could use this speaker to choose any kind of color.
And I can even put my corporate colors in there. Right?
Of course, yes.
Very nice.
Yes, absolutely. And for if you're lazy, you can also pick this. And at the moment, I don't know the corporate colors by name, but we can just go in here.
Oh, this is nice.
And like that, we
Okay.
actually have our corporate
I
colors.
appreciate that because of course I'd always have to look up my corporate colors and that would do it for me. Very nice.
And you can move this thing anywhere on your screen. So our guests will not see that, but you can go anywhere and just pick it from any sort of collateral that you already might
I like
have.
that extra little bit. Thank you.
Sure. So that's the color bit. Of course, now you don't see the text, the text itself very well. So we can just choose that the white again. I think one of the like we can just stick to one simple color. In a lot of use cases, customers actually prefer that over an image.
Oh, okay.
But I also want to show you the images here.
Yeah, I mean, I would kind of like the image. I like the sky there. That looks kind of nice.
All right, let's go with the sky is the first selection anyways.
Okay, made it easy on you.
Yeah, perfect. And now, I mean, white is not amazing over that sky, so let's do the same trick as before. Use that thing
darker
again
blue.
And go for the darker
nice.
blue.
And that's my corporate color. Very nice.
Perfect. So now we've changed the background basically. Let's take a look at the languages here.
This is really nice because my sales team is actually working in different languages. So I do have a salesperson that will work in English and in German, or a salesperson that will work in French and English, right? And of course, we want to translate the content for them to use as they see fit. So that's nice to have the languages there. And also that they can have their own languages as well. So my French sales team can be in there and have a French poll.
Yeah, exactly what we had in mind. And it's also very easy to change. So usually you would have like big setups to change the things. We made it very simple. You just click into the title. You can give it a title here.
Okay.
So whatever we're going to choose, doesn't really matter for now. And if you put a German text in there, so maybe we could call it Verkaufsdokumente. That easy, you've basically created two titles, and you can do this for anything on the portal. For everything that we are creating now as well.
That's great.
It's the same game.
That's what that personalization that we were talking about, right?
Exactly. And you can also, of course, change the size of the title like this. But as we're doing this for our internal purposes and our company language is English, I would say we can also remove German here. Just the last word to this topic. We can see the switcher here. With the switcher, we would actually switch between the two languages. Everything is translated immediately.
Easy, perfect.
And you also need to know that what we see here is always the same as the published portal. Even like from a technical perspective, this is just a view. It's the same components. Everything is the same as the published portal. As soon as we actually publish it, it will be out there and look exactly the same. And that's what we can count on.
Nice.
Now, as I said, let's remove German here, so we can also see that the switcher can also be removed, and there is how it looks even a little bit more cleaner if you only do it for one language. And let's take a look at one of the most powerful features of this of the portalization in general. This is something that was also close to my heart, because nowadays a lot of applications, a lot of systems out there, the searchability is just not where it should be. You really want to have an easy time to find the content that you need. You don't want anything to be based on folder structures. That makes sense if you have a ton of complexity, but as soon as you go to the front and to the people who are actually consuming this content, they don't know how exactly you're structuring content on your side.
No.
We need to make sure that it's easily searchable. And all of what we're taking a look now, I think is reminding you of other sales portals or like anywhere where you're shopping. Basically, it's the same system, but we have really taken care to simplify it and make it a lot easier. So let's dive right in. The first category, it's always there, we have it all the time, is this one. So that one is there all the time. You cannot edit it because this is usually useful information. Exactly. You can filter down to images. You can see for each selected facet, is how we're calling this. It's basically a fancy filter because it has. Can you
talk about this? Like when we were first talking about filter faucets, I actually didn't know what they were. So could you just explain really quickly why we have filter faucets and how helpful they are in that search function?
Yes, I think the best way is to actually build them, but you could see or why they even deserve a separate name is because they're linked together. A filter is usually just sorting or filtering on a certain aspect, but these kind of facets are filters that are connected. So when I select something here, for example, I can immediately see the right side here reacting as well, so that you can immediately see, okay, there are 4 images and all of these images are small. If you don't select anything, you can see that in total, all the content that I have here is either small or large, and whatever you select, the right side immediately follows.
Nice.
Cool, so this is the general one. This is the one where we don't have much influence over, which is good because some things should just stay the same.
Exactly, because I would just need it anyway, just put it in there for me, spare me that time. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yep.
So let's create one. We could name this one already. Thinking of our previous selection of metadata, how should we call the first one?
I think I was saying countries, wasn't I?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's use one of these. Let's add countries. So we've named the category, and now what?
It's there already. Okay.
You have it there immediately, but of course you want to see how it looks, right?
Yes.
And now we're on a curator perspective now. Basically, we're curating this portal, and you can see that with one single click of adding a facet, you can see all the metadata that we have chosen. And as soon as we click countries, you basically have built your filter.
And there it is. The countries are right in there. Nice.
And that's how easy it is. You can always build, similar to the already existing one, you can always build more columns into this category.
Could we maybe do one more? Like I think earlier we were talking about content owner.
Let's put them together.
Yeah, there we go.
And
great.
Now you have that as well. And now you can see in Austria, all the content is owned by Martha, for example.
Nice.
And of course, there is no limit to your imagination. There's so many ways you can go. As long as your metadata is set up correctly, which is a general assumption for people who are using a DAM system, you can really go in every sort of way. And what I didn't tell you, but you might have spotted it because I already built a library, I have already created a portal for you.
Nice.
To really showcase all the metadata that we have already used.
And those filters we were talking about.
Exactly. This is how it looks. I didn't make it as fancy as we did now, but we can quickly change that with
cloud
a
image
click.
again.
Text color is already there.
Yep.
So now you can see a bunch of these filters, but let's take a look at them when we actually published the portal, because that's a step that I want to show you quickly as well. So now we have made a little change, the background color. And as soon as you do a change, you see that that you can update that here, basically. Once you've updated it, or at any point before actually as well, you can immediately copy a link from here and open a new tab, copy that link in, and you can immediately see the portal.
Yeah, and this is really nice looking. This is an attractive looking portal. It's not old fashioned, it's not junky. I can really see everything. I've got my filters there right away. And it's a little bit branded, right? So this is very attractive and something I'd be more than willing to share with people who need content from me.
Cool. Should we take a look at the filters quickly?
Yes, please.
So I thought that we can put like similar topics together, basically. So the content owner and the content language are now in one. We've got the asset status. So on one click, you can see what has actually been marked as confidential, which is the new stuff, and so on. As one of the salespeople for Austria, Germany, or any country in the world, you saw how quickly we can just add this. If you would have metadata on any of these assets with other countries, they would immediately appear here.
Nice.
Same with languages, and also we have got, of course,
dates.
Yes, dates and visualizations for any sort of ranges. It might be dates, it might be numbers. So with also with one click here, you can apply a filter and see within this time frame this asset.
That asset then expires. In this example, it then expires, right? Nice.
Exactly.
Very nice.
Cool. So there is your portal. Yes. I hope you can go on and send it to our salespeople.
Yes, for sure. It looks good. Thanks for building that.
For sure. All right. I think that that's it from us today, right? We've got our portal. Now I think we can open it up for questions, but first I will hand over back to you, Isa.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I'm just checking, and let me just grab the So we have got a couple of questions actually from our audience there. I will start by just reading them out as they come in. Well, the first one is a repetition of what you've already explained, Steve, but I think it's important, so I will stick to it and say, why do I need libraries? Isn't this an additional work step for marketers? Obviously, you anticipated that question.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, if you see it for the first time, you might wonder, why is there even any step necessary in between? But looking at the speed at which we were able to retrieve these assets, I hope that already helped explain it a little bit. But just to reiterate on the reasons really behind that. First, it's about decoupling. So you want to have a separate storage that is completely independent from everything else. Second one, or that's basically a result of this decoupling, is the speed. Because you have these assets saved in a solely used for storage location, you can immediately retrieve them. And once you have such a library, you can use it anywhere. So when you build portals, you don't always have to load them in there separately. You have this one place that is decoupled from content, as I mentioned, and it could be 1,000 portals as well. They're all grabbing the data from one place, and it doesn't need to be replicated. So it's very efficient.
So it's safety and speed actually come together.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Next question. Can I also integrate the portal into my website and play it out there? Do I need additional tools for this?
Ooh, the integration into the website is a very good question.
Should we quickly take a look how we can do that?
If you're willing to show it, yes, let's take a look.
Yeah. So if I can grab the screen again, I will do that.
I mean, I could see it as one of the things that we were talking about is like, why would you want to integrate it into your website is for PR purposes, right? So journalists want information, they want it quickly, they can go to your PR page and you've got your corporate assets there, and the journalist doesn't even have to bother to reach out to the PR team. The journalist can go in there, pull that information out, those images out, and write the article about your company, and you have a great PR opportunity that you might have missed if you would have missed the journalist deadline and you were fast and efficient. So that would be something that would be very interesting.
Yes, no, absolutely. I'm going to take that opportunity also to really use the portal that we just had. I don't know. I always feel like it's the nicest when we really are on track, like we're really doing the stuff. And that's what we're going to repeat now as well. So this is the portal where not all the categories are there. So let's publish this one and take a look then. So once we publish it, this is the first action. Later we just made a change and then updated it basically. Once this is published, I can just go to the magic button here, and with one click, I'm copying the embedding code into my clipboard. So this is an iframe code, and I can go anywhere to WordPress or wherever.
Oh, nice.
And just copy that in.
And paste it right in there. Nice.
Exactly, and that's how you embed your portal basically. Nice. And yeah, there's some other options to visit it directly and all these things.
I think the example you gave was nice and clear.
Perfect.
Cool. Perfect. Thanks a lot, Steve. Next question. How does a user access a portal? Do they log into CELUM? How is access controlled?
They do log into CELUM, exactly. So at the current implementation, we are allowing all organization members to access protected portals, meaning, for example, our sales team is already part of our organization, of course, and thereby you just need to click protected once, and everyone who is already approved basically can safely check that content. As a next step, we will actually introduce audiences and allow a more granular selection of people. And yeah, this is the journey we are going to take to really give a lot of options and defining like even single people that can use the portal.
Perfect. And then can we have folders or nodes within a library and portal? Is there an option for users to see a tree-like structure where they can drill into a certain category?
To see the tree structure in portals, you mean? Is that, or can maybe you read the question to me again, just to be sure?
Mm-hmm. Can we have folders within a library/portal? Is there an option for users to see a tree-like structure where they can drill into a certain category?
So this is actually also a question that came up also during our user research or UX research. And I think this is one of the things that are so perfectly solved with our facets, because we do want to get rid of these tree structures. We do want to make that search experience very natural and quick. So if you would have a tree structure within a library, you would kind of miss the purpose there. You can have all the complexity you want in your DEM system, all the tree structures, all the different relations, but we want to give users an opportunity to really simplify this, take a selection that might, or these assets might live on many different places within the DEM system, put it in a single storage, and then make them really searchable with the portal. So if you would have a folder before,
yeah.
Exactly. So if you would have a tree structure before, you just need to use your metadata to replicate it here, and you could just build a facet to represent that, which is much easier and nicer to use than actually clicking on filters. So whatever can be built with a filter structure or with a folder structure can be replicated here as well.
I hope that answers the question. We've got the next one. What's the ETA on the audience level of permission?
That's always a lovely question. So single audience members, I'm very positive that we will have that latest at the end of Q3. And it's always easy to follow our roadmap and to check our product board to get more information on the timelines there. Of course, you can also reach out to your account manager to get more specific information there. But at this point, I can only give a clear deadline or a clear expectation in terms of single audience members. As soon as we have these group capabilities to add really multiple or even departments as users, we will be loud about it and inform you.
Absolutely.
Great. Let me just check here. Well, then we have got a couple of minutes left. So I can go on and read the next one, which might be quite interesting, actually. How many portals can I set up? How many assets max can I present in a portal? Is there a limit?
The only limit is on the library side, where we have 10,000 assets per library. But you can have multiple libraries in a portal very soon. So I wouldn't actually, even with just one library in a portal, it's not a problem, because we can adapt these limits. They're purely technical limits and they're always adjustable. So if there is a worry that there is too many assets needed within one portal, I can take that worry away. We can easily adjust it. So we only have technical limits. We have built this in a way that it can really convey a very big amount of data.
Okay, great. I'm not sure if you can actually do this. We've got a question popping up now. Can you show us a portal with multiple libraries in it? I don't know if we've got the time left to do this.
Also, at the moment, it's a one-to-one relationship. So at the moment, it is one library per portal. You just need to set up this library correctly. And within the next weeks, we will have multiple libraries as well. So
perfect.
At the moment.
So once it's ready, we will obviously inform our customers in our newsletter about that new feature. So
yeah,
keep
this is
reading,
very close.
keep reading, sign up to our newsletter so that you will be up to date. Quite sure it's going to happen very soon. And thank you very much, Steve, for the presentation and the answers.
Of
I'm
course.
just getting the feedback in here. But I will nevertheless ask the next question because we've got 2 minutes left. It's related to the size of the data. Is there a limit to the amount of data and to the size of the data? For example, we have many videos that need to be distributed. Those are much larger than pictures, PDF, and so on. Will this be, would this cause a problem?
No.
No.
That's another reason. So all this decoupling and all the steps that we've taken while we were constructing this are to really be very capable in terms of the amount of data that we convey. So there's no issue at all. If it's just videos, it will work just as well.
Perfect. Then it's great. So there's no limit. So I'm now checking my time. That's why I'm always kind of looking away a little bit because of my clock over there. We've gone through all our questions. Have we? Let me just double check. No, we've got everything. So, well, that leaves me to invite you to our upcoming webinars. We've got 2 coming up in June. On June 19th, you will learn more about product content management, our ultimate tool for smarter content management and great user experiences, and then we've got the second one on the 27th of June, where everything will be about stock image databases and how to integrate them into your DAM system of CELUM, and how to make the best out of this combination for your content supply chain. So I would be very happy to welcoming you then. That leaves me now to say thank you very much. If you have any further questions, please do contact us. Just write us a quick email or call us. Also, if you have any further questions regarding the CELUM Portals, I'm quite sure Steve and Britta are happy to answer any remaining questions. Well, it leaves me to say thank you very much, Steve and Britta, for the informative session.
It was fun.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I have to thank you very much, Steve. And thank you, dear participants, for your time and your interest. And I wish you a nice remaining day. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.